My key jammed in the lock. I tried again, pushing harder, but the deadbolt was completely different. New. The grocery bag slipped from my arms, cans rolling across the porch. Through the front window, I saw our wedding photo on the mantel, face down, deliberately turned over. I pulled out my phone. One text from Darren. "Don't come in." 3 words. No explanation. After 17 years of marriage, my husband sent 3 words and changed the locks. I stood there frozen, late groceries scattered around my feet. The afternoon sun burned my neck. A car passed slowly, the driver staring. Before I could dial Darren's number, I heard it behind me. A hard knock. Fast. Official. I turned around slowly. 2 police officers stood at the bottom of my porch steps. The taller officer stepped forward. "Ma'am, we got a call about a disturbance at this address." My throat went dry. "I just came home from the store." The shorter officer had a clipboard. "Are you Naomi Prescott?" "Yes, I live here." "We have a complaint from the homeowner requesting police presence." "I'm the homeowner." The taller officer knocked on the door. 3 hard raps. We waited. Nothing. He knocked again. Still no answer from Darren, though his truck sat in the garage. My husband was hiding inside while police confronted me. The shorter officer turned back to me. "Ma'am, do you have somewhere else to stay tonight?" "My name is Naomi Prescott. I'm 43. White. Brown hair kept short and practical. I'm the quiet one, the dependable one. The woman who brings cookies to gatherings and remembers birthdays. I've been married to Darren for 17 years. We met at a friend's barbecue. Married after dating less than a year. I work in construction compliance for Morrison & Sons. Deadlines, documentation, accountability. I review permits, track inspections, ensure regulations are followed. I notice when things don't add up." The shorter officer read from his paperwork. "The resident states that his wife has become increasingly unstable over the past several weeks. Erratic behavior, mood swings." My knees weakened. He's expressed fear for his personal safety. The taller officer added, "Ma'am, the complaint describes you as unstable and dangerous." My lungs forgot how to work. Dangerous? I'd never thrown a plate. Never raised my voice. Never given Darren reason to fear me. "That's not true," I said, forcing my voice steady. "I need to speak to him." The taller officer shook his head. He specifically requested no direct contact tonight. "But this is my house too. We have a temporary protective request. We need you to collect belongings and find alternate accommodation." "How long?" "The courts will decide. Could be days or longer." I gripped the railing. My husband had called police, filed paperwork, locked me out. Officers were treating me like a threat. "Can I get clothes?" 15 minutes. Supervised. Just necessities. "He requested you not enter without supervision," the shorter one added. "Temporary order pending." They let me inside with the officer following. The house felt wrong. Darren wasn't in the living room or kitchen. His truck was in the garage. He was home, just hiding. Upstairs, I opened my closet and froze. Half my clothes were gone. Good hangers missing, leaving cheap wire ones. Favorite sweaters, work blazers, nice shoes, gone. My jewelry box sat open and empty. My grandmother's ring, left to me in her will, was gone. Pearl earrings from my mother, gone. "Just necessities, ma'am," the officer reminded me. I grabbed a duffel bag, underwear, 2 work outfits, toothbrush, laptop charger. I reached for important documents on the top shelf. My passport folder wasn't there. Birth certificate gone. Then I smelled it. Perfume. Floral and expensive. Not mine. Darren's sister Vanessa wore that perfume. The scent hung in the bedroom like a signature. Outside, my neighbor Trish stood in her driveway, arms folded. 6 years of neighborly friendship. Garden tips. Watching each other's mail. Now she watched me like I was dangerous. The officer carried my bag to my car. Trish hesitated, glanced at the cruiser, then at me. "They said you snapped," she whispered. Loud enough to hear. "Lost it over something small." My cheeks burned. "That's not true." Darren seemed really shaken. "When did you see him?" She shifted uncomfortably. "This morning. His mom came by around 10 with papers. Official-looking stuff." My stomach clenched. "This morning. Hours before I got home. This was planned." "His mom came by with papers before you got home," Trish added quietly. I sat in my car 3 blocks away, my hands gripping the wheel until my knuckles turned white. The bag sat in the passenger seat like evidence. I stared at Darren's text. "Don't come in." Just a command. My work badge was still clipped to my shirt, the corner digging into my palm. My phone rang. Tom Fisher, my boss, after 6. He never called after hours. Naomi, he said, voice tight. I need you in first thing tomorrow, 7 a.m. Is something wrong? This isn't about a project. HR needs to meet with you. Mandatory. HR? Why? We received concerning information. 7 tomorrow. Don't be late. He hung up. My boss calls, tight voice. Naomi, HR needs you in first thing. Morrison and Sons, 3 floors downtown. 11 years I've worked there. Senior coordinator now. Walking through the lobby at 7 felt wrong. The security guard who usually joked just nodded, smiled tight. HR on the 3rd floor. Melissa waited in conference room C with Tom and a woman in an expensive suit. Legal pad, recording device. Naomi, sit, Melissa said. This is Rachel Dunmore, legal team. I sat, clutching my laptop bag. Melissa slid a form across. We need to conduct a wellness check. Standard procedure when we receive concerning reports about an employee's mental state. From who? Rachel answered. We received an email last night from your husband expressing worry about your stability, for workplace safety. At work, whispers follow me. My supervisor avoids my eyes. HR slides a wellness check form across. We received a concern about your behavior from your husband. I didn't argue, didn't plead. Defending vague accusations only makes you look guilty. I opened my laptop bag and pulled out a folder I'd prepared at 5 that morning. I'll provide documentation, I said calmly. Performance reviews, project completions, safety records, everything showing consistent, professional work. Melissa blinked. They wanted tears or anger. I gave them facts. That's good, but we need you to sign this wellness acknowledgement. I won't sign anything until my attorney reviews it. But I'm happy to continue working while you verify my record. Tom's eyes widened. My supervisor muttered, just keep this quiet, okay? I don't argue. I don't plead. I sign nothing. I breathe and say, I'll provide documentation. HR blinks. My supervisor mutters, just keep this quiet, okay? The Crossroads Inn. $39 a night. Thin walls. Flickering neon. The bathroom smelled like industrial cleaner. I sat on the sagging bed, staring at the mirror. My bottom lip was raw from biting. Dark circles under my eyes. I opened my laptop like I always did when chaos hit. Organization. Documentation. Control. My bank app loaded slowly. A red alert flashed. Account access settings have been changed. My hands went cold. I clicked the joint checking account, where my paychecks deposited. Access denied. I tried again. Same message. Savings account. Also locked. Cheap motel. Thin walls. I stare at my reflection. Lip bitten raw. I open my laptop, the way I do when chaos hits. My bank app shows a new alert. Account access changed. I called the bank's 24-hour line, heart pounding. Finally, a person answered. I need to access my checking account. It shows I don't have permission. Let me pull up your account, Mrs. Prescott. Typing. Your husband updated access settings on both joint accounts. You've been removed as primary holder. You're now secondary, requiring his approval. My paychecks go there. Unfortunately, either party can modify access. Terms you both signed. Ice in my stomach. When? More typing. Request submitted online 2 weeks ago. Effective today. 2 weeks ago. The week Darren hugged me. Said I seemed stressed. Offered to handle bills. Said he wanted to help. I'd thanked him. Our joint account is locked. I call the bank, voice steady. The banker says, your husband updated authorized access. She adds softly, it was done 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Darren hugged me in the kitchen, told me I was too stressed, offered to handle bills. I'd thanked him for setting the trap. I searched my email, found it in spam, 10 days old. Post office notification, your mail forwarding request processed. All mail for Naomi Prescott at 847 Maple Drive, redirected to P.O. Box 2847. I never requested forwarding, never knew we had a box. Darren did. He'd forged my signature, redirected everything. Every bill, statement, document was going to a box I couldn't access. I opened a new document, started a timeline. What I did at work when projects failed, document everything. Find patterns. This wasn't anger, this was planning. 2 weeks ago, Darren hugged me, told me I was too stressed, offered to handle bills. I realized this wasn't anger, this was planning. I find a forwarded email, my mail was redirected. 8 a.m., I walked into Marla Keene's office, attorney at law, small practice near the courthouse, family law specialist, reputation for being tough. Marla was 50-something, silver hair, reading glasses on a chain. She listened without interrupting. I slid a folder across her desk. I documented what I could, timeline, screenshots, photos, police report copies. She reviewed each page, eyebrows rose at the organization. Tabs, labels, dates. You prepared this in one day? I work in compliance, this is what I do, she smiled slightly. Most clients come in hysterics with hurt feelings. You've built a case foundation. Can you help? Absolutely. She pulled out her folder. But know what you're facing. Your husband filed for legal separation yesterday, also filed for sole occupancy, claiming you voluntarily abandoned the property. Marla says, Naomi, he filed for separation yesterday and claimed sole occupancy. Back at the motel, reviewing case law, my phone rang. Darren's mother, Patricia, I'd always called her Mrs. Prescott. Naomi, honey, she said, false sweetness dripping. I heard about this situation. Wanted to reach out woman to woman. Did you? Let's not be hostile. Darren is very worried about you. He locked me out and called police. Because you weren't yourself, dear. He had to protect himself. I closed my laptop. Mrs. Prescott, I've been respectful to your son for 17 years. Her voice changed. Sweetness evaporated. That's not what people say. People have seen the changes, the mood swings. What people? I'm not at liberty to say, but people are willing to testify. She paused. Let's not make this ugly, just accept the separation gracefully. Colder now, rehearsed. We have witnesses, honey. She hung up. Darren's mother calls. Syrupy. Let's not make this ugly. Then colder. You're not well, honey. She slips. We have witnesses, like she rehearsed it. Marla's office next morning. I'd barely slept. Darren's mother called, mentioned witnesses. Marla wasn't surprised. I got the witness list. 3 people. His sister Vanessa, his cousin Michael, and your neighbor Patricia Walsh. Trish? Yes. They're building a narrative. You're unstable, dangerous. Darren needed to protect himself and marital assets. I thought about barbecues. Trish eating in our backyard. Her daughter playing with Darren's nephew. Me giving her my tomato plants. Why would she lie? Maybe she's confused. If Darren's family spent weeks saying you acted strange, every normal thing would look suspicious. Marla pulled out a property deed. This is what they're after. The house. It's in both names? Yes, I paid the $50,000 down payment from premarital savings, my grandmother's money. Proof? Bank statements from 6 years ago. Everything's in the house. I learned witnesses are Darren's sister, his cousin, and Trish, my neighbor. People I fed at barbecues. Marla whispers, they're building a narrative to control the house. The house is in my name too. I'd paid that down payment with my grandmother's money. $50,000 from her life savings. Darren's mother never forgave that. She wanted Darren to provide everything. Marla showed me another document. Darren claims you abandoned the residence voluntarily, that you left before the lockout. He locked me out. Police were there. He's claiming you'd already moved out emotionally, been staying elsewhere. That's insane. They don't need truth, Naomi. Just a plausible story. I went to the bank. The manager looked uncomfortable. When did this start? When did he first contact you? He checked his computer. Initial inquiry was 5 weeks ago. Discussed protecting joint assets in emergency situations. 5 weeks. Over a month of planning. The house is in my name too. I paid the down payment for my premarital savings. Darren's mother never forgave that. Marla shows me a copy. Darren claims I abandoned the home voluntarily. I didn't call Darren. Every instinct screamed to demand answers, force confrontation. But Marla was clear. Silence was a weapon. Don't give ammunition. Let him wonder. Instead, I filed requests. Mortgage payment history, deed records, utility bills for 2 years, bank statements going back 6 months. Responses came within days. The mortgage company sent full payment history, most payments from our joint account, but I'd made several large ones from my personal account. Payments Darren forgot. Utility bills showed both names, proof of continuous residence, evidence against abandonment claims. The big revelation came from my lender. Buried in correspondence, an email from 3 weeks ago. A request from Darren to remove me from the loan and deed, claiming marital dissolution. The lender denied it, explaining both parties need to be present with legal documentation. But Darren had tried to steal the house before locking me out. I don't call Darren. Silence is my weapon now. I request records, mortgage payments, deed history, utility logs. My lender emails back. We received a request to remove you last month. I needed my old laptop, stored in the house. It had automatically backed up files to an external drive, including scanned receipts from when we bought the house, proof of my $50,000 down payment. Documentation Darren couldn't deny, but I couldn't get in. The police made that clear. Marla filed motions, but court dates were weeks away. I was at the motel when my phone buzzed. A text from Trish. "Your things are on the curb." Just that. No apology. Like reporting garbage pickup. I drove to Maple Drive with my stomach in knots. Piled at the driveway's end were black trash bags. 6 of them. My clothes, books, possessions, dumped like garbage for the neighborhood to see. Cars slowed. Mrs. Henderson across the street stood watching. Deliberate humiliation. My old laptop stored at home holds scanned receipts, proof of my down payment. I need it. The officers won't let me in. Trish texts me. "Your things are on the curb." I loaded bags into my car, face burning with shame. Most contained clothes with broken hangers. One had photo albums, pictures torn from frames. Another had kitchen items inherited from my mother. My father's army photo was in one bag. The glass cracked. Frame broken. My stomach turned to ice. At the bottom of the last bag, buried under a broken jewelry box, was my old laptop, hidden inside a shoebox. I pulled it out carefully. The screen was shattered. Someone had smashed it, probably with a hammer. The casing cracked, keyboard bent. My heart sank. All my backups, documentation, destroyed. I sat on the curb holding the destroyed laptop, feeling tears finally coming. Everything I'd tried to protect was gone. Trash bags, my clothes mixed with broken hangers. My father's army photo cracked. My stomach turns to ice, hidden inside a shoebox. My laptop, smashed. I should have been finished. Everything gone. No proof. No evidence. But then I remembered something. My office PC auto-backed up key files to a secure drive. Compliance training required it. Protection if computers crashed. My hands moved like muscle memory. I logged into my work computer remotely using the VPN connection Morrison & Sons required for compliance officers. My home folder loaded slowly on motel Wi-Fi. Inside were subfolders for every project, every inspection. And there, buried in a folder labeled Personal Old, was something I'd forgotten. An automatic backup protocol I'd set up years ago. Every file on personal devices that connected to the work network backed up to a secure company server. It had backed up personal files too, including a folder titled Darren Property Plan. My hands shook as I clicked it open. I should have been finished, but I remember. My office PC auto-backed up key files to a secure drive. Compliance training. My hands move like muscle memory. A folder appears, Darren Property Plan. Inside were email drafts Darren had written to himself. He'd used our shared desktop computer, logged into his personal email. Thought he'd deleted them. The backup caught them first. Lock change schedule, Tuesday 3 p.m. Police call script, emphasize erratic behavior, safety concerns. HR concern letter, send Monday evening, request discretion. He'd planned everything, day by day. When to change locks, call police, destroy my reputation. All written out. More emails. One to his mother with talking points for her witness statement. Another to his sister about coordinating stories. He'd rehearsed his family like actors. The worst was an attachment. A PDF. I opened it. A quitclaim deed. Transferring my ownership of the house entirely to Darren. And at the bottom, my signature. Naomi M. Prescott. Except my middle initial isn't M, it's L. Naomi Lynn Prescott. Someone had forged my signature. Wrong initial. Sloppy handwriting mimicry. Inside our drafts, Darren emailed himself. Lock change schedule. Police call script, HR, concern letter. And a note, trigger date, after her audit week. One attachment is worse, a forged signature page. I stared at the forged signature. The notary stamp was from Bridgewater, 60 miles away. I'd never been to Bridgewater. Never signed anything there. I downloaded everything, saved copies to my cloud, laptop, USB drive from the motel vending machine. Then called Marla. "We have a problem," I said. Or rather, Darren has a problem. A felony-sized problem. Marla's office the next morning. She read through Darren's planning emails slowly, expression hardening with each page. When she reached the forged deed, she laughed. Short, sharp, no humor. "This isn't divorce anymore. This is fraud. Attempted property theft. Possibly conspiracy if his family was involved. Can we use this?" "Use it, Naomi. We're gonna bury him." She picked up her phone. "I'm calling the prosecutor's office and filing an emergency motion immediately." My name on a quitclaim draft. Wrong middle initial. Bad handwriting. A notary stamp from a town I've never visited. Marla's face hardens. This isn't divorce. This is fraud. The emergency hearing was Friday morning, 48 hours away. Marla filed the motion Thursday, including Darren's planning emails and the forged deed. Judge Alice Morrison had a reputation, 20 years as a family law attorney before the bench. She didn't tolerate games. Friday morning, I dressed in my best suit. Marla met me at the courthouse. Ready? Ready. Courtroom 4B. Darren was already there with his attorney, expensive suit, supremely confident. His mother sat behind them, perfectly composed. Vanessa, too. Cousin Michael. They looked calm, like this was a minor inconvenience. That changed when Judge Morrison entered and started reading aloud. Mr. Prescott, would you like to explain this document titled Lock Change Schedule? Darren's attorney stood. Your Honor, those are private emails. Recovered from Mrs. Prescott's work backup. No privacy violation. She looked at Darren. I'll ask again. Explain this schedule. Darren shifted. Just notes, thoughts, processing feelings. Processing feelings in police call script emphasize erratic behavior. We file an emergency motion. Darren arrives smirking until the judge reads his script email line by line. His mother's jaw tightens. The judge asks Mr. Prescott, who coached this statement. 1 week later, I was in my new apartment. Real apartment with kitchen, bedroom, small balcony. I'd signed the lease the day after the hearing. Judge Morrison had issued temporary orders immediately. Full bank access restoration. Permission to retrieve all belongings. Restraining order preventing Darren from disposing of marital assets. Order requiring Darren to pay my living expenses. The prosecutor opened a fraud investigation. Michael hired a criminal attorney. Darren's family went silent. I was unpacking when I heard it. A knock at the door. Fast. Official. My heart jumped before I remembered I wasn't in trouble. A process server. Not for me. He needed my signature confirming Darren had been served with divorce petition and fraud investigation notice. He's been served? About an hour ago. At his mother's house. He's staying there since the judge restricted his access to the marital residence. I signed. After he left, I stood in my living room taking it all in. A week later, I'm at my new rental. Another knock. Fast. This time it's a process server for Darren. Temporary orders. I get access, protection, and financial restoration. Darren calls. Voice cracking. Naomi, please. 2 months later, everything had changed. Morrison and Sons cleared me completely. They apologized, offered a promotion to regional compliance director. Better pay, better respect. I accepted. The fraud investigation led to charges against Darren and Michael. Attempted property theft, forgery, notary fraud. Darren's attorney negotiated a plea deal, but his reputation was destroyed. His business collapsed. The divorce settlement was strongly in my favor. I got the house plus damages. Darren got business debts and legal bills. His mother never apologized. Neither did Vanessa. But Trish did. Stopping by with flowers. I'm sorry, I believed things I should have questioned. I accepted, but kept distance. Today, a process server delivered the final divorce decree. Everything official. Everything over. I sat on my balcony with coffee, thinking about Darren's text that started everything. Don't come in. 3 words meant to destroy me. Instead, they freed me. I'd kept receipts because I'd kept promises. The knock had come fast, but it knocked on the right door. I don't yell. I say, I kept receipts because I kept promises. Fraud charges proceed. HR clears me with evidence. I get a promotion. Darren loses the house and his family's grip. Final beat, my doorbell rings again, and I smile.